Now, last to this, I want to hearken back to something that Travis said in the beginning, to realize that sport itself is neither positive nor negative, but at the end of the day, there are positive and negative outcomes that can be had. We think through the structure and the delivery of that experience, and who most commonly and most often is presenting that? It's you and it's me. It's the adults in their lives. And as we assess what's going on, we see that the parents, the coaches, the leagues, and the administrators must ask ourselves the question, what kind of experience are we extending to these burgeoning young people as they participate in their chosen activities? Now, when we look at the league experience, and you might consider your own teams and your own groups, the clubs where your children participate, there are two models that are normally talked about within the sports literature that lend themselves to either more positive or more negative outcomes. The professional model assesses the young athlete as a commodity, and sports is a commercial enterprise. This is the place we find that success equals playing time, travel, wins, and maybe even money. Are we training and professionalizing our 7-year-old that one day he may play at dad's alma mater and be a scholarship athlete in XYZ activity? Or even further, can they be professional in this pursuit? The professional model has a number of qualities that lend themselves to excellence in youth sport participation, but they've also been associated with a number of reasons for children to more often want to drop out, as the overemphasis on winning and performance are at the center. On the other side of this equation, we have the developmental model. Now, the developmental model looks at these young athletes as moldable clay, and sports is an arena for learning. Success here is really measured in terms of personal growth and skill development, and therefore the child can succeed all along the way, win, lose, or draw. Within this model, there's room to grow at every level. It is here that we find that youth are growing, enjoying, and playing in their sports, continuing on because they feel a sense of accomplishment season after season, in fact, game after game. Now, Cote and Associates broke this up into 3 different stages, and they're roughly based around age groups, albeit, as Travis pointed out earlier, no two contexts are the same, and sports tend to differ in which times the bodies of little ones are ready to participate at certain levels. And so Ruff helped to discuss this for our benefit today. I want you to consider this first and youngest, earliest stage of sampling, being roughly between the ages of 6 and 13. If you have youth at this age, I want you to consider what this experience is like, because at this stage you want to help them participate in a number of different activities, because that participation has been associated with psychological, with social, with physical growth. Now, if your child is at this stage of participation in youth sports, a number of tips that we bring to you from Cote and other researchers indicate that you'll want to find a lot of opportunities for free and fun exercise within this activity. Now, one of the neatest things about this is that breaking up this season or this year amongst a number of different activities, we also find that youth get breaks. Have you ever watched how the little kids really enjoy the quarter breaks and they get to have a drink, an orange slice, or a treat? You extend to that the opportunities when you go on vacation, right? Or in between the seasons themselves. These breaks give them a chance to cool down, to reflect on what they enjoyed and what they didn't, and rest up and be excited for what's next. Some tips that these researchers have and we extend to you tonight begin with allowing for a lot of free play when your children are at the sampling stage. In multiple activities, we want to balance these opportunities of fun with opportunities to learn. Further, you provide instrumental, emotional, and informational support. You'll bring together an opportunity that they can enjoy what they're doing, win, lose, or draw. You hear me say that a lot, but it's important for them to understand that it's about having fun. At the end of it, we want to maximize their enjoyment in this chosen activity. Now, after several years of sampling and getting to know themselves and what they like and what they don't like, children tend to gravitate towards those things that their bodies are meant to do, Size and speed and strength tend to lend in this, but they also tend to gravitate towards the activities that they like best. At this level, they begin to specialize, maybe between the ages of 13 and 15. And here we find that there are a number of tips to help us present a better opportunity for them as we encourage a mix of both free play and deliberate practice. Here we're going to find ourselves providing more financial and emotional support as we back away from being their informational center. We're going to be more the supporting role instead of the leadership role as we were when they were younger. And here we're going to support and sustain that coach and athlete interaction. See, throughout the year you get the opportunity to mix into these various activities, and as you specialize, it allows you to build strengths and abilities in one activity that will translate into success in another. Now, here we get to the stage in life where most youth are beginning to drop out for the variety of reasons that we've discussed. For those who extend themselves into the pursuits of varsity sports and athletics at the high school level, there is a further stage explained by Cote and Associates that we reference as the investment stage. Now, at the investment stage, by sheer grit and enjoyment of the activity and the abilities that go along with it, children will hyper-focus down on 1 to 2 activities all year long. In this experience, there are a number of opportunities for them to grow and specifically hone their skill sets towards their chosen activities. The tip we share with you tonight comes from a number of concerns that have been shared with us of groups around the state here and across the country as parents have approached us and said, we really like the things you're talking about, but we're concerned because the coaches in the leagues where we live say, if you want your child to excel, you're going to have to pick a sport and stick with it from a very young age. And I'm here to tell you that based on the research and understanding and years of experience here, that's just not true. As a matter of fact, if we go to the NFL a few years ago, the early athletes who had just signed on with their extraordinary experiences through college, they had just acquired these professional league contracts. What they asked them is, what kind of sports did you participate in growing up? And nearly 9 in 10 of those athletes had played multiple sports all the way through their high school experience. We have several examples for you today, beginning with Roger Federer, who was a decorated soccer player as well as a tennis player growing up. Drew Brees was excellent at both tennis and baseball and could have gone to the majors, but decided to take that arm to professional football. Tim Duncan was a world-class swimmer before he came to the United States in his late adolescence and early adulthood, and it was here that he began to play basketball and found out that that's where he wanted to excel. And Abby Wambach, she grew up as a younger child in a big family, all the while dodging hockey pucks of her older brothers who just wanted to toughen her up. She played basketball and soccer before she ultimately determined that she was going to pursue soccer as her professional career. I want you to think through the opportunities that you present to your youth and understand at the upper echelons of physical capacity, these professional athletes that we show time and again, that allowing multiple opportunities in a number of different activities is really going to lend itself to not only your child's skill development, but also their enjoyment in youth sport. So as we consider where is our child and how might we best support them in their pursuit of their goals within this context of youth sport, consider where they are in terms of seeking out fun, or whether they're beginning to learn, or extending that learning to skill development, commitment, and refinement, and ultimately seeking out opportunities for upper levels of elite competition. We find ways in which the model around that is built, whether it's professional or developmental, and we see, how might I support my child? And where might I seek to extend their opportunities in such a way that they're excited about what they do and want to continue participating in their chosen activity?
Hello everybody, I hope that you're all doing well today. My name's Keith Oside, and I had the great opportunity to participate in youth sport at the various stages that Ryan was just mentioning. These opportunities to participate in youth sport built character, and that support that my family provided for me is what drives me to share this information with you today.